I've been dealing with this all weekend,
What
kids.
does he have? Goatee? What do they call that? It's Daniel. It's kind of like Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton right now.
Are
you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Remember I said the Braves earlier?
That's not sports. It's not sports.
Oh, it's not?
In theory, it's not sports. In theory, it's not sports. It's the beard versus the non-beard. For my wrestling fans out there, everyone knows I'm a dork, so that's fine.
Wrestling's not sports?
No, it's entertainment. Hello.
Oh, boy. It's been a long day and a good day. Robert and Nick here, ready to see who can be crowned the champion. There can only be one.
All right. If you see at least one mulligan, I think. Go ahead, buddy.
No, if you're just joining us, Adrian Sullivan, Cedric Phillips here in the booth. The game is underway. Oh, he laid the land. He picked it up. He laid the land. And they're ready. Okay, everybody's ready. We're going to see an underground sea from Robert to start things off. Unless he changes his mind since the pause.
He's a little slow at the gate. Not much happening. There's a Skull and Tarn. Gonna pass turn back. He's got a Force of Will. He's got a Lightning Bolt, Swords, and a Flooded Strand. So not a great hand there from Cowden. Cucunato. We got 9 cards total in opening hands. Oh, so we have like all of the mulligans here. Ponderoo. 5 for Robert. 4 for Nick. This is awesome.
Wowzers.
This is how Magic was meant to be played, Adrian. Less cards. Difficult decisions. This is like the hardest ponder ever. There's a show and tell. Lotus Petal. So what he does is he puts Lotus Petal first. Boop. Polluted Delta. There's a Thoughtseize. What she got going on over there? I think I want that Force of Will. Thanks.
Not much left.
Yeah.
Bolt, Force of Will, Swords to Plowshares, land.
Kind of interesting situation here where like he can take Swords if he's got a big threat in his hand and says, I hope you don't draw the blue card for Force of Will, or you can just take Force of Will. You take a look at Cucunato's hand. He's got a Daze, he's got a land, and Mystery, so he is going to take Force of Will.
Swords to Plowshares is one of those strange threats or answers, so to speak, from a Delver deck, because the Reanimator deck, if it gets an Iona in play, can name white. If it gets a Gristlebrand in play, the damage is done.
He draws Show and Tell, just passes the turn back. There's Mystery Reinforced, pass the turn back. Again, Cucunato knows that his opponent has a Swords, has a Bolt, has a Mystery card. Mystery card is Bolt. New Mystery card's Flooded Strand. Play that, pass that back too. Kind of like holding some of these cards, mostly because if he draws a Brainstorm, he wants to Brainstorm some of these crappy lands away. And he's playing another land. I guess he can rep a Hardcast Force of Will right now. But I don't like playing all these lands.
Pass, Drago, 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 Drago. Here we go.
Alright, Stoneforge time.
One of the things that's kind of exciting about this particular Delver deck is that it kind of comes as a crossbreed from several other decks, but the deck that people compared it to initially, the blue-red Delver deck, it could never play this long game unless it got really lucky with Price of Progress. Yeah. But Stoneforge Mystic changes everything.
Yeah, that's why I like the blue-red Delver deck, is it can play a short game or it can play a long game based off of what it draws. It can adapt. Batterskull going to get here for Cowden, so he's going to want to try to close this game as fast as he can. 5 points of damage at a time, but Cucunato is going to have to brick like crazy for that to be the case. And 2. He's got a Reanimate, he's got a Show and Tell, he just doesn't have the big dummy in his hand. Here's a Sacrifice of the Delta, go down to 17. And of course, you're going to want to leave one fetch land in play, I would think.
He's like, can I shortcut it? Is that okay? He's like, yep, that works for me, buddy.
See, I don't love that play, and the reason I don't love that is if he draws a Brainstorm. He's going to make it a good Brainstorm, not a bad one.
The only reason to do that from my perspective is if he's going to go for it right now.
Yeah.
Looks like he was just doing it to thin the deck. I don't like that.
He's got an Iona in his hand now. He's going to play Lotus Petal, and we're going to go casting.
Show and Tell?
Now, Iona's Power and Toughness, I used to play with this card. It's a 7/7.
It's a big one.
I used to play this card in Dredge, so you're going to want to put this in a plan. You're going to name white. You name white so you can't be swords.
Just barely out of range of a double bolt.
But what that means, more importantly, is that like he can't block, but I guess he could block, because what he'll do is he'll block the Batterskull token, he'll block the Germ, it gets bolted, and then he reanimates. And he did name white. Yeah, and he goes, all right, block Stoneforge, because he doesn't know about the second bolt. He knows about the one bolt. But still, this is all great.
And if Nick Cowden does the double bolt, yes, he kills the Iona, and then it just is going to come back.
Yeah.
Is that an Exhume that he has in the,
He has,
in the
he,
hand?
he has, I believe, 2 Reanimates in his hand, so it's not like a free roll by doing that because he takes a lot of damage off of going Reanimate my guy back. The casting cost Iona, I believe, is 9. I think it's 6 white, white, white.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to use on a Reanimate.
So he takes 9, he goes down to 3, and so if Cowden draws another bolt, first of all, he dies, and then his Iona comes into play, but it doesn't have Vigilance, so he's at 3, he's staring down a 4/4 Batter Skull.
Yeah, and
so
if
he can't attack.
If he casts Exhume, then the Stoneforge Mystic gets to come back.
Yeah, that's true
So-
too. This isn't a great situation, which I'm a little bit surprised about, honestly. I think he might have. Does Cucunato have Entomb in his hand now? Okay, we're gonna go Reanimate, and he doesn't look thrilled to do it. Yeah, give me this, if that's okay. Yeah, I'm at 3. I think it's the name Red, which is super awkward. We'll see what he named here. We get confirmation. Delver. Oh no.
White
he named
again.
Whiting because he knows about swords. I don't know if I like the name of White though, because like you know about swords, but if he swords that, you get to gain a bunch of life, which like you're really happy about. And now if this Delver flips, you just lose. Lucky.
Oh, Nick Cowden didn't really do the check again. Just drew it right up.
Yeah. He needs to be a little more careful with how he draws his card. And pass.
Okay, okay.
Polluted Delta the draw. He's got a Reanimate, a Daze, a Polluted Delta, a couple mystery cards. Man.
That was a go. A little.
Yep, dead.
Wah, wah, wah.
I mean, assuming that like Cowden's just gonna turn both his creatures sideways, he's gonna start by brainstorming.
Let's just make sure that nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
Robert is
Yeah,
like,
that's
I
it.
can see the writing on the
Yeah.
wall. You got me.
I would have probably named Red in that situation to entice a swords onto my guy to be able to maybe play a longer game. As you see him shrug his shoulders and say, I guess that's it. But Nick Cowden up a game here with Blue at Red Delver. We're going to bring it back to the booth because we've got 12 months of premium to give away.
Excellent. Now, I've got a really good trivia question, Cedric.
Oh, do you?
It's pretty fun.
So I'm going to ask the rules. You got the question?
I got it.
All
Unless
right, here
you've
we
got
go.
one that's really good, too.
No, I think yours is probably better.
Okay.
Mine's like pretty simple and just not good because I'm not good at that. But I'm really good at rules.
Go for it.
Super good at rules. So hashtag your answer SCG Premium on Twitter to answer the question. We'll pick one winner. Go ahead.
Okay.
So good
That
at
was
rules.
pretty impressive.
So good at rules.
Remember the hashtag, folks. You need to have that hashtag to win. What is the largest creature in this top 8? That's the trivia question.
As in largest, as in power toughness?
Power toughness.
Okay.
Yeah. Hashtag SCG Premium.
All right.
Tweet your answers, folks. What's the largest creature in this top 8?
Like, I think I...
Is it, I don't know. 10th Street Hooligan?
Stop. Don't patronize me. Okay? Don't patronize my creatures. We're going to go to the sideboard here.
I'm actually going to talk about power and toughness there.
Okay.
So don't tell me, people out there, oh, pile driver attacking with 30 goblins.
Yeah, sure. Don't tell them the correct answer. Yeah, I'd hate for you to do that. Take a look at the sideboard here. 2 Echoing Truth, 1 Coffin Purge, an Ashen Rider, 2 City of Traders, Crippling Fatigue, Inkwell Leviathan, 3 Pithing Needle, 2 Spell Pierce, 2 Show and Tell for the Reanimator side of things. All right, so 2 Truth, I don't think I love. Coffin Purge you don't need. Ashen Rider, that effect is too slow in this matchup. 2 City of Traders makes it so that you can play around Daze, Fluster Storm, and Spell Pierce pretty well, so I like that. Also lets you turbo out a Show and Tell, so I kind of like those coming in. Maybe at least 1. Crippling Fatigue, like it's actually like kind of good against like Delver / Flip Delver / Stoneforge Mystic, so I don't hate that. Inkwell Leviathan, Island Walk, and Shroud, awesome in this matchup, so I love that card here. I think it's a million times better than Tidespout Tyrant. Pithing Needle would just be like for Stoneforge, so I don't like that very much. Spell Pierce lets you win counter wars, but I don't think that Cucunato has an interest in being in a reactive war. And then 2 more copies of Show and Tell. If he wants to get a little redundant from the redundant department, he can do that, but I don't know if that's what he wants to do. Take a look at Cowden's.
On Cowden's side, you can see there on the board 1 Sword of Feast and Famine, 2 Meddling Mage, 2 Rest in Peace, 1 Force of Will, 1 Pyroblast, 1 Relevant Blast, 1 Spell Pierce, 3 Submerge, a Swords to Plowshares, a Wear and Tear, and a Pyroclasm. Now the Rest in Pieces are a total slam dunk. You get that on the table. The only path is either get it off the table or go to the Show and Tell route, because there's almost certainly no chance that Robert's going to be able to play the same game he did last time and cast 8 mana spells into this Delver deck. The other thing to look at here, Force of Will is really good in a fight against this deck that's trying to put one big spell, one big thing into play. And Swords to Plowshares, it's a solid thing to do, but as you saw, the Iona can turn it off. The Gristlebrand, it'll be a little bit too late for that. So it's a fair thing, but it's not so great. But I do like Spell Pierce, and I do like Pyro and Red Elemental Blast on top of that Force of Will and Rest in Peace.
Well, there are your options. Both players are going to shuffle up. They look happy. Nick Cowden again up a game. He's going to be on the draw here against Robert Cucunato. Cucunato was able to get a large creature in play. It's just the wrong one. Iona not going to be able to get the job done. And you know, here's the difference between Blue Red Delver and Rug Delver. Imagine you're playing against Rug Delver here. You put that thing into play, it's probably just going to be game over. Yeah, ideally, you might name red. I think you probably name blue in that matchup, so they can't brainstorm and ponder all that nonsense depending on your life total. You're going to see an island start here for Cucunato, but when you're playing against a deck that has Bolt, it's got swords, it's got more play to it, you know, it has Stoneforge Mystic, it Batter Skull can go a little bit longer. I can imagine a situation where Cucunato brings back Iona, names blue and or red, and just stands tall over everything until he finally assembles something else. But Cowden's deck wouldn't allow that to happen because he has white in his deck as opposed to green. There's a big difference there.
First turn, Ponder passes it over versus Nick Cowden, Ponder. So they both get some positioning on, trying to get ready for the rest of this game. Force of Will amongst the cards that Nick Cowden is checking out. He goes and checks over the hand. I could see a Bolt, and the rest of it flashed by too quickly. Leaves it all there.
Alright, pass it. Island gonna untap. Cucunato draws his card. Polluted Delta for the turn. Got to reanimate it in the grip. Not sure what else he's hiding on to. He's gonna start by sacking the Delta. Gonna go down to 19. No stifles to be worried about. See what hands he's gonna get. Is he gonna get basic swamp? Is he gonna get an island? Or is he gonna go for an underground sea? He's gonna go for the sea. Doesn't care about wasteland.
Now this is a deck that does run 4 Wasteland as well as a number of Stifles. So there is a cost to having the good mana in this matchup. The question is whether it's going to matter in time. Careful study to begin. Maybe. Untap.
Thoughtseize. Pretty good start.
Slow it up a little bit. Just check to see what you got over there, Nick. I'm curious as well. There we go.
Wasteland, Grim Lavamancer, Geist of St. Traft, Delver of Secrets, Daze, Force of Will, and a Swords to Plowshares. I'm a little bit surprised to see Grim Lavamancer in after sideboard. The rest of these cards make plenty of sense, and the noticeable thing here is that Cowden's hand's pretty good.
Yeah. There's just the one card you mentioned. Everything else is a nice weapon in this moment.
Yeah. I like a bunch of these cards. What do you take here if you're Cucunato?
I probably take that Force of Will.
Okay.
If I don't take the Force of Will, I take the Delver.
All right. Yeah, Delver kind of represents the clock. Geist takes a little bit longer to get online. You have to tap out to do it too. We might see a Wasteland this turn from Cowden as well. So I kind of like taking the Force of Will. It's just one less thing you have to worry about.
And the thing about if you leave the Delver there, Robert has enough life that it's not going to kill him anytime quickly, even with a flip. So.
One card I was not expecting he would take is Geist of St. Traft with that Thoughtseize. Wow.
Now remember, Robert knows that the top of Nick's library, that Nick knows it, that he's planned for it.
He kept with the Ponder. Here's a Wasteland.
Delver.
Yeah, kill your blue-black land. Makes you wonder if he searched out the blue-black land on purpose so that he could entice a Wasteland. I don't know if that's actually the case, but if that was, pretty smart.
Both of these players are able to function on very low mana.
Yeah. It's interesting because like now he has to beat his to reanimate. Ooh. Ooh. This is a delight. Yeah, I'm gonna fight you back. I think he's gonna fight back over this. I think he's got to force some blue card. This is risky, but I kind of like this.
Reanimating a Geist of St. Traft.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I think we're fighting over this. Brainstorm response. 1 and 2 and 3. I mean, this play, it obviously makes more sense now. There's a Force of Will. Removing a show and tell. It says, I want that. Okay, that's
Here
yours.
you go.
Now, so like this play is like kind of cool and creative, but here's the thing: like a flip Delver just trades with it, and he knows it's gonna flip, so there's a force of will.
Oh boy.
I guess this makes it so a Delver can't attack.
I mean, Nick Cowden is on a 4-turn clock from Robert's Stolen Geist, and Robert, on the other hand, is on a 5-turn clock, assuming no help.
Yeah, I mean, we get to see Cowden just say, "Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'm getting in there. Put you to 10.
Fight.
I'm gonna sacrifice this. I'm gonna go get a blue-red land. I'm gonna play Grim Lava Mancer. That represents some more damage. That thing can chump block if I need it to.
Yeah, and by sacrificing that land, he does go down to 18, so it is a 3-turn clock now.
That's actually quite important. There is the old Grim Lava Mancer. Kick it back.
Robert untapped so quickly here. Some creative creative play. Look at that. A 4/4 die representing the angel.
He's moving. He just said untap attack. Play Verdant Catacombs.
Goodbye, angel.
Pass it. So Cowden's down to 12. Just drew a really important land there and Flooded Trance, so we can get another red mana. Get in for 3, put you to 7.
7 is a virtual 5 with that Grim Lava Mancer online, and that means that Robert is facing death potentially next turn.
Gonna go down to 6. I don't think Lava Mancer gonna play a role in this game. It's actually playing a really big role now.
Well, you know, and typically I don't think it would, but this is an unusual situation. I don't think I've ever seen a Reanimator deck attack with Geisterfiend Draft.
Yeah, you and me both.
This is the great thing about Legacy.
Yeah.
I love moments like this. I feel like I play a Legacy tournament, I watch a Legacy tournament, I see new things every time.
Gristlebrand the draw for the turn. There's your Angel token, get in. Shrug the shoulders, push you to 6.
What you got?
I see black cards, I see Thoughtseize. Target, I think he's targeting himself. He's got Reanimate Gristlebrand. He's going to show the hand. And he's going to concede the game. Nick Cowden!
Whew!
Star City Games Cleveland Legacy Open champion with blue-white-red Delver. Congratulations to him. What a great 2 games. Pulling it off, beating Reanimator, a matchup I didn't think he'd be able to win, defeating Robert Cucunato, and we see blue-white-red Delver on top again in Legacy. It feels like we keep seeing this happen.
You know, the deck is incredibly versatile. I think that there are some matchups that it can struggle in, but it can fight against anything. Anything. I mean, I know I was having my butt kicked by Jeff Hooglin playing some lands the other day with this list, but you know what? Anything is possible when you've got Force of Will, Swords to Plowshares, Delver of Secrets, and Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah. And you see again,